Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Magic Mom Ministries. I'm Nina Diedrich, and I'm the Magic Mom. We're going to talk a little bit today about what is going on with the energies for the upcoming full moon and also for the upcoming equinox as well, which are both on March 20th and 21st, depending on where you are in the world, obviously. I think for some of you it's the 21st and 22nd. I'm not, don't quote me on that though. I'm not an astrologer and I have no idea if that's the correct time or anything. I do, however, know that this energy has been hitting everybody pretty freaking hard, and there's been a lot of really big changes going on. Hi, Bridget. Welcome back. I've been kind of battling the need to do a video for the last few days, and I kind of decided to cave today, just for the simple fact that I think a lot of us are going through really huge completions, and I just want you guys to know that you're not alone in that. I'm seeing it all over YouTube and the spiritual circles. And even though I'm not on social media anymore, I do still see a lot of things through other people and whatnot. And it seems to me like this whole winter cycle for those of us in the northern hemisphere has really, it's really kind of kicked our ass, to be honest, and made it so that we really weren't given a choice but to look at the good, bad, and ugly that we've been trying to get away from. And for me personally, I've been just battling the ridiculous need to be doing as great business-wise as other people that I see doing the same thing. And the thing about it, though, is you don't really know what it took for them to get there or what strings they had to pull. And sometimes it's not about what you know, but who you know. Hold on, I got something in my eye. And we're really kind of being forced to realize that we can't do a lot of these things on our own anymore. And the more we try to push that or to force it, the smaller the hole gets that we're trying to put it through, right? The more impossible it becomes for us to make that particular reality happen. Right? Exactly. Right now, that is exactly what we need to do. We need to look at everything that we see that we don't like and learn how to like it. And then a way pops up for us to either make room for it or it goes away once you look at it, right? And it's happening more and more quickly for at least the people that I've been talking to anyways. I'm pretty sure you can probably agree with me a little bit on that one, Bridget, that it's becoming a lot easier for us to move through these things in a less chaotic manner. Like, for me personally, this whole process that we've just gone through with the moving twice and totally getting conned out of a bunch of our own, time and money, and that would have really thrown me into like the chasm of the nothing. And now I just kind of was like, yeah, okay, whatever. It is what it is. We have somewhere else to go back to at least. And honestly, we didn't want to leave there to begin with. So it was just kind of a way for the universe to make happen what needed to happen, because, well, we weren't having any luck moving out on our own, and we needed to get out of here in order to do the work that needed to be done. And so a way was just found for that to happen. And I can sit and piss and moan and be mad at the guy and, you know, wish him a million ills and whatever, for not being a completely honest person. But in all reality, it worked out for the best for all of us. So um, it's made it really easy to move past that and then go, okay, well, now what? Now we're back where we started. What do we do now? And um, so I've just been focusing more on getting through my own shit. We have just managed to clear a lot of the physical clutter and, make everything work for us better than it did before. And then, uh, things just kept rolling along. It kind of was like a snowball effect. And I just feel like a lot of people are kind of going through that. And I just want you guys to know that, you're not the only one. So that's not, it's not the universe picking on you. The universe is picking on all of us, really. And we just need to kind of embrace that and just go with it. And um, it's like I've heard a few different astrologers and different tarot readers and energy readers and things like that put it like, it's like during the childbirthing process when it's the worst and you just want to quit, but you can't, because then you won't get to the end, right? Well, you can't just quit having a baby. It just doesn't work that way. It's a natural process. There has to be a culmination. And so we're kind of hitting through that last part of the birthing process right now, where we're kind of like, well, I don't know. This is really scary and it kind of hurts. And, I don't know if I can continue. And then, there's that little bit of relief, and then the next push happens. And you kind of go, okay, well, hey, I survived that, right? I can do it again. And then, the urgency to continue just keeps the momentum going until next thing you know, it's over and done with. And, you're looking at your newly birthed baby going, wow, I did it. Here we are. And you're perfect. It's just like that with any creation, a painting, a poem, a book, a video. You just kind of put your foot in it and go, all right, this is it. I'm going to do it. And then you do it. And there's comes a point where it gets really hard and you're like, well, I don't know if I can. And then you keep doing it. Because if you don't, the alternative is going back to something that doesn't work. And this whole last really 7 or 8 years has been about facing all of the things that don't work, with ourselves included, and not just with everybody else around us. And so I kind of been really feeling the urge to come on and talk to you guys and maybe pull a few cards and see what's changed in the energies and where we can go from here, right? So some things to consider. This is our 5th and last full moon at 0 point. This one is in Libra, and we will have another full moon in Libra next month too as well, I think in the early degree placements. Hello. And so these last 5 full moons have really forced us to go back to the start with every aspect of our lives and look at what has worked and what isn't. And now we're kind of getting to move into the fun part where we're going, okay, this is what we've asked to create. Is that really what's going to be birthed by us now that the time has come? And hi, Robbie. And it's it's been kind of hit or miss on whether everyone we thought was going to be coming with us is going to be coming with us. So I guess we'll just see, huh? We're going to start with the Deviant Moon Tarot by Patrick Valenza, and we're just going to get a couple cards and see what this mid-month energy is looking like right before we get to this equinox. Ooh, okay, so there's been a lot of talk lately about portals and different things and what they mean, and I think everybody kind of has their own rules and varieties and energetic aspects as far as what that is. For me, I like to think that there's one with every renewal of the moon, and the cards I pull kind of reinforce that. We have the moon. So we've been looking at our shadows, right? We've really been forced to pull out all the big, bad, and the ugly and look at it and play with it a little bit and really become familiar with the things in our lives that make us kind of want to quit, right? And we've all been kind of shoved into those situations recently where we have actually been kind of forced into that position where we had no choice but to continue or quit, and leave the planet. Some of us are not making the choice to continue. Some of us are making the choice to leave the planet, and we need to just learn to love them anyway. This is a hard process, and even though we all signed up for it in the beginning, it doesn't mean we can all actually do it, and those of us who are having a hard time with it really kind of more need our love and compassion rather than our anger and judgment, right? And we need to do that more for ourselves as well. Because wasn't I just talking about portals? The Four of Wands card is the ultimate of ultimate in portals for me. As a tarot reader, an energetic healer, and an empath, and a bajillion other things, it's kind of been my life's goal to stick my foot in every river to see how it flows, or put my finger in every fire and see how it burns as a Scorpio. And, now I'm kind of coming to this point where I know what works and what doesn't work for me. And the choice for me has been whether I want to continue to go down the same old road or whether I want to kind of pull my head out of the sand and realize I'm a big girl and I can do it all by myself. But I have a million people behind me willing to help if I ask. I don't have to do it by myself. And that was a really big realization for me over the last 6 weeks. Yeah, I can do it, but I don't have to. It's not required that I struggle to get where I want to go. I can love myself enough to go, hey, this is a little bit harder than I thought. Think you can help me out a little bit? And we do that sometimes too in our positions of wanting to help push this whole ascension process along faster for everyone too, right? I got into a point where, I was like, if I offer my services for free, maybe more people will be interested, right? Wrong. You want to know why? Because I was still chasing people to help instead of letting them come to me like I should. Like we all should. I was still coming at this as a business instead of as a calling. This isn't something that just anybody can do. Not just anybody can get up here and share their story and have it resonate with other people and have them realize that, hey, maybe I'm not alone. You know? How many of you have gone on and started listening to a video and immediately shut it off and go, God damn, that guy was full of shit? And yeah, is that a judgmental statement? Sure. But we're fucking human, right? And everybody gets stuck in this whole, well, we have to be positive all the time, or we're going to hell, right? Yeah, the one you created for yourself with your judgment and your guilt. Why can't something be what it is? Sometimes somebody's full of shit and somebody needs to say it. And the person saying it doesn't always need to be burned at the stake. Let's pull from another deck. Let's use the Sacred Path Oracle and get a clarifier for the moon. Or 3. Okay, so our truth is our protection, right? The 12 card. It's the 3rd month. We have let loose our arrow of our preferences, and now we wait to see where it lands, right? Now, with the 38 card, which reduces to an 11, we see our needs and ideas being made manifest, either by ourselves or by whosoever the universe chose to make that particular idea happen, because we have millions of ideas, but we can't always make them all happen, right? And if you can't make it happen, well, someone has to, because it's already been put out into the ether. So don't be pissed off if you can't take an opportunity and you see somebody else picking it up. Be grateful that your idea became manifest, however it became manifest. And maybe in that way, you'll get more allies and have more support for what you want to do. People very much undervalue the pure art of gratitude, right? When somebody provides you a service and you're grateful for it, what do? You reciprocate in whatever form you can, right? And it's like that in anything. It should be like that for every service, whether it be the doctor, the policeman that helped you, or the fireman that came to help you, or the chick that made your coffee, or the guy that made your coffee, or the people who check your oil, or whoever it happens to be. The YouTuber you watch for entertainment value. In order to create this new paradigm, we have to realize that we have allies and that we need to support them like they do us. And as more people shift into that reality, the more we're going to see it become physically manifest, right? But it's going to take a few of us jumping off the cliff and showing the way first. And yeah, Ronnie, motivation is something that seriously has been lacking, at least as far as the pursuing of this channel at the moment for me. For over the last couple months has really switched into a very internal, very private, very deep introspection on who I really am, what I want to continue to be, and what I want the world to see that as. And to be honest, my only goal really was to create a place where people felt safe and loved and protected, and for the most part, that has been what this has been. And those of you who have needed my services have contacted me privately. And those of you who don't, follow along still. And I love all of you for whatever support you give. But honestly, I need to stop expecting this to work like a normal 3D paradigm business, because it's not, right? We've moved to 5D. I don't know if any of you didn't get the memo or not, but the event you've all been waiting for was just your realization that you're already awake. And nothing's going to happen to create that except for you realizing it already did. That you're already exactly what you need to be. And you just need to embrace it, right? So let's pull from the Dragon Tarot. I have been hearing a lot of calls from the dragons lately. I don't know what it is, but they have been cropping up quite a bit. Let's pull a card and see what they have to say. The Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords is kind of a gate, right? I always look at this card especially because it shows them interlocking. And the only thing that's needed to open it is you to say, "Open sesame," right? Realize you already have the power to create exactly what you need when you need it. Look back over the last couple months, and how many times have you been in super dire situations that you didn't think you were going to get out of, and then suddenly a miracle occurs, no matter how tiny, and the problem's been solved for you, right? Let's get one more. Ace of Pentacles. Okay. So, this is definitely having a lot to do with the very strongly rooted beliefs that helping others isn't something that should be compensated, right? And a lot of it's also been about accountability, too. Oh, excuse that. Bear with the dogs in the background for a minute. They're just a little bit of an explosion outside. And wait just 2 seconds, guys, okay? Okay, sorry. Look over the last, back over the last few months and think about how many of those little miracles have turned into really huge ones. And a lot of it's just been because, well, we're not self-sabotaging as much anymore. We're kind of having a bigger belief in our ability to manifest things in our own realities. And it's really been becoming a huge catalyst for personal growth for a lot of people. Just watching someone else going through the process. I know for me, that was a huge catalyst for me, was just seeing all the other people doing it too and realizing that, I had a message as well, and that I needed to stop being scared to voice that. But I'd always been told that, children are better seen and not heard, and I definitely carried that into my adult life as well, thinking that I didn't have anything of value to say. And through a lot of encouragement through all of you and people in my personal life too as well, even though a lot of it's really been more strangers than people who are close to me. The speaking of my truth has actually alienated most people that were in my life previously, but that's besides the point now, and not something I that really even causes me more than a moment's nostalgia anymore, which is a point that I didn't think I would ever really be able to get to. And so it's kind of nice to actually be able to say that, to look back at it and know that I'm healed enough that I am not being triggered into anger or sadness by perceived losses, when actually what it did was free up room for the things that really do mean a lot to me now and really do add value to my life and give back, instead of just taking and taking and taking and taking and taking and then telling me that I'm doing it all wrong, right? I think we're all kind of done with that perpetuated cycle. And it's nice to see more and more people doing that. So I guess I'm kind of going to be shifting gears a little bit and moving more towards more of a mentorship angle, and kind of utilize that more of the motivation angle of my my skills for a little bit, rather than just trying to share the information that I've already had been shown to me that helped open up my eyes. I'm sure most of you have already, had that particular occurrence, and now it's time for us to move into the next level. And I'm seeing more and more of you guys doing it as well, and it's been really, really encouraging to know that even in a small way that I've been able to help people do that, even if it's just to know that they're not alone. And that's really been the biggest hurdle throughout most of this ascension process, is just the feeling of not belonging and not people not understanding what you're going through and the things that you're feeling and seeing, and being called crazy more times than not, just because you have an empathic bone in your body and can actually sympathize even with the assholes. And that's really made a huge difference, just realizing, okay, yeah, so what, I'm different, big deal, it's okay, the world's not going to end, and I'm not going to end up being alone and surrounded by 25 cats and end up a hoarder and all those things, because people have a hard time dealing with my intensity. I don't do things halfway. It's not how I am. And so learning not to tone down my vibration just because it makes some people uncomfortable has been a really big hurdle for me over the last 3 months, especially because I always thought that this would help to make me feel like I belonged more, and instead it's just made me feel more and more ostracized in my actual, physical reality. And but I realized most of that was just me manifesting it myself, just thinking that because I was so different, that nobody would want to spend time with me, and which is a completely ridiculous thought, I know, but these are the things that are coming up from our childhood and our past lives, and things like that we have to really look at and go, yeah, I feel that way. It's stupid. I know it's completely ungrounded and absolutely redonkulous. But yeah, I feel that way. And then you go, okay, well, how do we not feel that way? You know, do I need to call somebody? Do I need to go for a walk? Do I need to, listen to a podcast or a meditation video? Do I need to do some yoga or maybe go for a jog? Do I need to call my mom or my dad or just ask somebody for a hug? And being able to do that and know that it's okay to know or to need something. We don't have to be these, symbols of perfection that have no needs. Everybody has needs or preferences, I guess I should say. And being self-sacrificing isn't necessarily a good trait that we should promote. There is a point in time, yes, where sometimes sacrifices need to be made for the sake of keeping the peace or whatnot, And in that case, yes, please do so. But it doesn't have to be every single thing you ever wanted in your whole life needs to be conceded to someone else's greater need. And then just, knowing you're enough exactly how you are, and there isn't anything else that you need to be or that you need to do in order to be who you want to be. You already are who you want to be. You need to just let yourself be it, and stop forcing yourself into a position where you feel like you have to do something. There isn't anything that we came here to do. We all came here to be something. So what are you being? What are all of us being? Let's pull from the Affirmators deck. Oh, I think we're going to have two. Good things to come and power. So, and actually, funny story about this too. There are ways to get everything that you prefer, right? Like my nails, for instance. It's extremely expensive to go out and get your nails done around here. It's like $75, $80. And I don't know about you, but I don't make that kind of money to be able to afford that. So instead, I taught myself how to do it, and it cost me $15 instead. There is a way to do everything. Never say can't. Because there's good things to come when we harness our personal power and know we can do it. So, there are so many amazing gifts coming my way. I can't see them now because I respect the general convention of not peeking under the wrapping paper. But they'll show up when the time is just right, and that's when I'll remember how much fun it is to be surprised. The anticipation is the hardest part. You see the gift is there. You can even maybe see the shape of it or hear the sound of it if you rattle it. But you still don't quite know what it is. Embracing that reality of sometimes we don't know is where our power comes in, right? In loving ourselves. So remember, you are strong, grounded, powerful. You're like a cross between a dinosaur and a tank, but not a tank that's used for war. You're like a peaceful, loving dino tank who feels so strongly it doesn't need to do anything but just be. It's what I've been telling you guys all along. And hopefully now it's starting to sink into your reality a little bit, just like it's starting to sink into mine. We don't have to do anything, but just be what we already are. Go out and be the love that you are. Be the shining light that you came here to be by being your authentic, 100% truthful self. I love that, Lisa. Maybe we all need to go out and light a candle today. And during this midpoint right now, before this next full moon, the last one at 0 point, which I think makes it the most important, even if astrologically it may not be. But Libra's the sign about balance, too. We're coming back to center. This last 4 weeks has really been a big, huge lesson in coming back to center and realizing that you're the source of all the love that you need. No one else can give it to you, but you can give it to someone else. And in that way, give yourself twice as much. Right? I think I'm going to close this out with one last card from the Soul Journey deck by Denise Lynn. Let's see what the second half of the month is going to bring for us, huh? Oh, that one's right here. Grounding. Right? Go deep and explore your roots. What are they pulling up from underneath for you to see and digest? Are you hiding from it? Or are you just sitting back, embracing it and letting it flow through you, acknowledging the fact that it's there? Let's see what Denise Lynn has to say. Okay, grounding. So it says, go deep and explore your roots, right? Well, if I can get this picture to come in. Looks like she's sitting there reading a book, right? Take time to ground yourself in what is truly essential. Remember what's important in life and let go of everything else. Let go of the busyness and the frenetic pace of life. Be present in the moment. Release the flurry of worry about the future or the rehashing of the past. This is a time to engage and reflect. It might be worth taking a second look at something you previously passed over. Things may not always be as they seem. Look deeper into the situations and relationships in your life. Explore your roots. Something that seems closed may, in fact, be just ready to open. If you go beneath the surface, you may find hidden gems of truth, light, or abundance. The Sacred Traveler wants you to know sometimes the voyage is fraught with the activity of so many places to go and things to do that personal energy gets scattered. It's during those times that the Sacred Traveler needs to ground their energy. Grounding can be simply a matter of leaning against a tree and imagining yourself reaching into the roots and up to the branches. This card also can mean you need to stand up for yourself. Don't back down. Stand up for those who can't protect themselves. Believe in yourself. Hold firm to what you know to be true. You're like the ancient oak with its roots deep in the earth. You are noble, valiant, and strong. Right? Let's get one more. And once we can remember that, infinite abundance pours in, right? It says abundance is pouring into your life. So as soon as we can get past the point of being able to ground into our physicality, our new beliefs, and our new life goals, the new things that we want to call in, then they start showing up in weird and awesome ways. So, infinite abundance says abundance is pouring into your life, right? Okay. Everything is blossoming and bearing fruit now. Open yourself to receive. The prosperity you seek is being activated. A stream of abundance in all areas of life is ready to flow into your life. The Creator desires that you prosper. Take action in the direction of your dreams. This is not the time to passively wait for prosperity to fall into your lap. The Sacred Traveler wants you to know, life goes in cycles. There are times when fields lay fallow, and there are also times of harvest. Right now, you are moving toward a harvest time to receive an outpouring of money, energy, time, or love. However, you must first know that you deserve it, and you do. There are times on the journey when life is fallow, but in the times of harvest, the Sacred Traveler shares the bounty and even volunteers to help others bring in their crops. This is the time to give deeply and fully of who you are and what you have. For the more you truly give, the more you receive. It's a universal law. As you focus on gratitude for what you already have, your abundance will grow leaps and bounds. So, and knowing that is our personal power, is it not? Knowing there is no lack and there is enough for everyone, always. So if you feel called to give in any way, do it. I guarantee you, the universe will find a way to return it to you tenfold in a way that you may not have even imagined yet. So remember, everyone, we here at Magic Mom Ministries love, appreciate, and are in full support of every single one of you. If you're interested in a mentorship, contact me through the email magicmomministries@gmail.com. And know, I love every one of you. Now go out there, be the light you are, and be good. Because you already are. Bye, everybody.